Hi guys, welcome back to more base paste experiments. This weekend, I took all my base paste, went through it all. There was about 120 of them. And I picked out the ones that I liked and I got rid of the ones that I didn't like. The ones that I didn't like were mostly the ones that I had other recipes mixed in, I was experimenting on, and I wanted a full set. Here is the cover of the 42 set that you can get from Blake's. You can get it off of Amazon. I saw Jerry's Artorama had this exact set, this cover. They also have a 42 set that has this cover. Both sets do not have the same colors in them. I did not know that before, and I do know that now. If you look on the inside cover, you're going to notice, and we'll just bring this up, this is the 200 series, 48 200s. This one has the 500. When I did a color comparison, they did not match. This would have, say, red, and this would have red. When I looked physically at the two color reds, they were slightly different. I don't know what Gallery is doing. They did change up their colors. I believe this is the newest set. I've had this one for a long time. There is a 24 set, and that matches up with the colors that are in the 48, except there's only 24 of them. But the funny thing is when I went to look, some of them were a little bit different too. It seems that they're not that consistent with shades. And that's just an observation that I made. Thought I would pass it on to you. So those are the differences. Today what I am doing is making a full 72 from this set, the 500 set, and the 24 set. You can see it in the background. It's already completed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some inconsistencies with the pigments that I have found, and that you'll probably find too, and some of the workarounds for that. Now remember, these need to be cured. They're not that great when you first make them. They become really pigmented as time goes on. The ones that I made a month ago are light years more pigmented than the ones that I made just this weekend. And even as the hours go on, it becomes more and more pigmented. Don't test them right out of the pot. Well, you can. I did. But just know that they're going to get more and more pigmented, and you will see very soon. So I'm going to do a couple of background pictures for you, and let's get started because we got a lot of work. I've got the first few all ready to go, and you can see they've been soaking for about a day, and they've been warmed up slightly. All I'm doing is waiting for the beeswax to completely melt down. It's in a warm bath right now. Here's the next batch that will go in. You'll see these have been soaking for 24 hours. This is before I warm it up. You can see it's still chunky. And I have all the containers ready for them. Now here's the main group. These have not been soaking for 24 hours. They've been soaking for about 6. And I'll do these last, but you don't have to wait 24 hours. You can wait like an hour to 3 hours and they're fine. But I just got them started yesterday. I've let them go for over 24 hours before I've cooked them down. It doesn't do anything to hurt or help. It does help it to have it soak for at least 1 to 3 hours. This is what a perfect one looks like when it's ready to have the wax added. Now I will put this back into the bath to keep it warm and heat it up a little bit more while adding the wax, and then I will make sure it is really well mixed. I have the green heating up slightly and the beeswax is completely melted. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of beeswax to the oil and pastel mixture, and then I'm going to make sure it's mixed up really well before I pour it. The pale green is ready to be poured, and you can see it's very liquidy and very mixed, and then I just pour it in. It makes exactly 1 container. I don't touch it until it's completely firm, so it stays where it is. I've gotten more than half of them done, and if it should splash up on you and it burns you in any way, the temp is too high. They melt down in 5 to 7 minutes. All 72 are done. And I got a lot of really interesting data. It looks good. Let me see if I could find it's okay, the blue. You could see I did this with the blue. Look at the color over here. It's like got this whitish, like the outside of a crayon. But when I dug into it, this is the color that I got. You could see it's much more pigmented than the top color. And this is pale blue. Well, I'll just use the side of the paper anyway. This just may be a light blue. Now, I was going to show you, some are just lighter than others because the color is lighter. Your cobalt blue is extremely pigmented. Black will always come out like this. I've made black like 10 times, and it's all been like that. The top color I've gotten out of black has been like a 90% gray. And that's okay because you really don't want to make a black background. You want it to be a darker color so that you can actually put color over it. A pure black background flattens the picture. Backgrounds look best when you create the black with brown and blue. That's just a little bit of a hint. Another color that you're going to want to come out really good and you're going to use a lot is your Prussian Blue. Mark this one off. Prussian Blue is your night skies. You don't use black in a night sky. Skies are usually not black. You'll do Prussian Blue as your darkest, move it into your lighter blues, and then darken it up with your blacks to give that real night sky. And you can still see cloud formation. I'm going to demo all of this, don't worry. So this is one that you're going to want to come out really good. Now, Sky Blue is another one that came out with, oh, you can't see it. Sky Blue is another one that I dug into. Sorry, I had something else on my finger. I dug into it, and I got a real Sky Blue. You've got your pale blue, your light blue. Greens were difficult, okay? The really, really light greens did not come out very pigmented. I have others that I made, and they do get better. Okay, here's one that I made like a month ago. You can tell this is white with a little bit of green in it. Remember, this is older, it's more developed, and you're going to see on my finger, it's nice, creamy, and you're going to get that green in it. This same or similar color, well, it would be in the same way as this. This is a little bit lighter, a little bit more yellow. See, it comes out a little bit more waxy. And almost nothing on the page. It will pigment up within the month. Here is one that became really waxy, and this is not the first time I've used this color. This is the Burnt Umber, and it is not the first time Burnt Umber did this. It happened in other sets. It is a pigment thing. They all got that waxy layer on the top, and you could see it. When I dug into it, there's your color. It's right underneath the surface. There it is, and there's your Burnt Umber, or what they call Burnt Umber. It's like an orangey. So this is fine, even though it looks like this, very waxy on top. Another thing that sometimes happens is it sweats a little bit. And I don't think I have any more that are like that. What you're going to notice is little beads of oil that form on the very top. Don't try to wipe that off with a tissue. Those are good oils. My best colors that are in the piles that I did a while ago were ones that sweat a little bit at the beginning. Here's another one, and I haven't even dug into this one. It's in the same family as the Burnt Umber, and if you look, this is what you're going to see. You see the two-tone? At the beginning, when I first started making these, this I would have thrown away. It didn't come out good. But I've learned since then that this turns out to be fine. Keep working it in. Work with your color. Your pigment is underneath there. See how as I'm pushing my finger around, or the applicator, the color is starting to make its way up to the top. And it's there, and if you really get nervous and you want to test it, just go in with it. Look at the color. Look how rich that color is. It's right underneath the surface. You didn't screw it up. Beautiful, not a problem. It's just some of them do this. Black, 100%. These browns do it a lot. And I've learned, don't get nervous. You have your rose pinks, your gray roses. These are naturally lighter colors. So, of course, they came out very light, but they're fine also. Pale orange was practically like a white. It was so light. And that's just the color of the pigment. Crimson came out a little waxy. It's still a little waxy. Rose Madder, that was another very light colored one. Fresh Pink is a skin tone. You've got your skin tones that come out very light. You don't want a darker skin tone. You want a nice pale, peachy skin tone for light toned skin. If you're going for a darker skin, I would choose something like my Burnt Sienna. And you can work it from there. Remember, you do it the same way as you would do your pencils. And you have, this is an orangey undertone. You find the one that's right for the color skin that you want. But I could do beautiful dark skin using, this would be like a redder or an orangey undertone. These are the swatches. This set came out really nice. I don't have to get rid of any of them. This malachite green is highly pigmented now. It's going to be almost too dark. I also recommend you swatching it a little right before you put it on your page because you don't know. I thought it was going to be only a couple days, but they just got nicer and nicer after a month. So that's a very good color. All right, I'm going to demo now for the next few minutes a couple of background sky colors so you can really see it. So let me get started on that. I'm super happy with the way these base pastes perform. The colors, even though they're brand new, are still very vibrant, yet soft, easy to apply. Stick around for the next video when I turn this into that.